Yeah. Hey everyone. So we're just going into trance now with Sally. We're back again. And it's super nice to be back again with you. So as we drop into this space of love, space of peace, just feel into where we've gone in this last week. Just feel into what you would like to bring in the next week coming forward. And feeling that you're opening up your sacred space together and feeling the beauty of that coming together live is such a beautiful thing. We're coming together live to grow together in that worldwide temple of light. So feeling that you have all of your crystals with you, your shungite and your citrine, your smoky quartz, your tourmaline, and any other crystals you might have. And as Sally sings and goes into that deeper space, the deeper liminal states, and the beautiful presence of the Divine Mother comes in, Isa Isa, just feel like you too are singing within or out loud alongside and dropping into that space too. Sending so much love out to you wherever you are, wherever you may be. And we look forward to speaking with you all at the end as well, with a bit of Q&A. So dropping into our heart space, that heart space that stretches so wide, the richest place in the universe, the heart space. And if there's anything in there that needs to move, any emotion, any pain or fear, any worries, any doubts, any concerns, any panic, anything at all, just see if you can let the emotion come up and let it trickle out. Or maybe it moves out. You shake it off, you breathe deep, hold your shungite, and feel the presence of the deities and the beautiful beings coming in, your divine team, to be with you.
My beautiful children, you bring me so much joy. My beloved children. We are one being in many forms, bringing such beauty, beloved, bringing such power of your love, of your kindness and compassion. Each of you, a star, a jewel, so precious to me, my beloved. Understand the nature of your being, your true nature, that is love. The deep and only reason that you come to this earth, to be and manifest your true nature, that is love. My beloved children, feel deep within you. It is the one thing you know above all else. You know love. You seek love. You call for love. You radiate the light with love. You heal each other with love. You create with love. You find that when you do not have love, you are in pain. You are in loss, in grief, in confusion, in fear. So, my beloved children, it is why I manifest for you in all that is around you, in the beauty of nature, that is your nature, that you are nature. And within you, I am, I who am nature, who am the very essence of creation. And here upon the earth, my beloveds, know me. Know me in all the forms that are. Know me, my beloveds. Understand that in the places that feel separated, fearful, in the places within you where there is no love, remember, you have the power within your nature to bring love to all of the places of suffering within you. My beautiful children, come, come, come into my heart. Come into the center of your being. There is one gateway. It is in your heart. And there is no distance between your heart and the heart of the cosmos, my heart.
Thank you for the blessings of Isis, Divine Mother Presence, that's been coming through Sally for a while now. So just to mention to everybody as Chung Fu comes in, to like the video and leave comments on the video once it's up and live, because this is of course live right now, and that we will do questions at the end. We'll normally take up to about 6 questions. Yeah. So if you are new on this channel and you're coming across this channel for the first time, you're new to the channel, new to this video, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, and do subscribe to the Chung Fu channel if you love everything meditation and Chung Fu's incredible mind changing and altering in the beauty way, metaphysical teachings, you know, helping us move our fear, our pain, helping us to understand our emotional bodies, helping us understand big esoteric concepts, you know, higher self, inner child, fire ceremony, crystals, chakra development, soul retrieval, you know, tie cutting. What is it to be a rainbow warrior? You know, Shungite development. And on that note, I do have my course coming out very soon. My course that's I've been working alongside Chung Fu to develop, which is called Shungite, the Light in the Dark. And so very excited to be bringing you that. If you want to check out my ebook, which is already ready to go, you can go to www.shungitelight.com and you can enter into my list. You can receive the ebook. So yeah, and I've got a course coming out very soon, a joint course with Chung Fu and Amon Chungin, who is, we found out the name of the oversoul of the Shungite realms, the beautiful beings, the deities of the Shungite. So you could say it's kind of a beautiful joint course with Chung Fu and Amon Chungin and the Dark Mother of the Stone as well, Amon Chungina. So yeah, just wanted to announce that, really. Very excited about that. And also Sally has an amazing oracling course coming out soon called the Way of the Priestess, the Way of the Priestess Priest Oracle. Is that right, Chung Fu?
Peace, beloved. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, just a quick one, and just whilst Chung Fu was coming in there.
Yes,
Peace,
wonderful, Jerome. I love to hear you speak, dear one. Jerome is such an inspired being. He has worked so hard and brought so much to so many people. I celebrate you, Jerome.
Thank you, Chung Fu.
Blessings and peace to you all, and welcome this day. Can you feel within yourselves the divine light getting stronger and stronger, beloved ones? Can you feel it? Whatever's going on the outside, well, we find that out through your minds, of course. When we come in, we see, what's happening on the outside. But can you feel what's happening on the inside? Can you feel the growth, the manifestation of the light into the lower levels, into the physical domain? It's coming in so strong now. And what's happening, of course, it's creating a backlash, a kind of pushback from the dark. Well, we say dark, we just say negative forces, the unconscious ones who have been in many senses misled, actually, a lot. misled is really the correct term. And they are on a path to self-destruct and other destruct. So this is getting worse in many senses, but understand there's a very good reason for that, because it's coming to an end. Whether that takes weeks, months, it won't, we do not think, take many years. It might just go over the year, but we think that it's really revealing itself now. The lies are revealing themselves because ultimately the divine is radiant, and that radiance, that light, lights up these dark places so strongly they become very obvious, even to those who aren't really looking and don't want to look. So there we are, beloved. Today I want to bring this title, which is Nature, Freedom, Courage. Understanding the link between your true nature, that is indeed free, born without any kinds of constriction, free being, born into your body. And understand that nature and that freedom as literally the basis for your being. And then understand the word courage that comes from the word for the heart, cœur. Understand that courage is in your heart. Courage is something you do grow as you develop your maturity. As you become stronger in your body, you start to grow the courage to experiment. You know, the little baby goes around picking things up, bashing things, experimenting. Oh, that makes a nice sound. Oh, that tastes pretty horrible. We'll try that again. Ouch, that hurt. And the baby goes around touching, prodding, tasting. The nature of your being is to question, to find out, to be on a quest. You come to this earth always as an adventure of your spirit. You who are free of spirit, you come to earth and you discover many things. But your nature is to inquire and to grow stronger, to find things out, to have information and knowledge that helps you be freer, that helps you manifest your freedom, and helps you grow your courage. Your courage for what? Your courage to be your authentic self, your natural self. And so there we have something that's very much prevalent in your times, which is to understand these facts that are goddess given, that you have God given qualities, properties, nature, understanding, and in that sense, these are your divinely given qualities. And we could also say they are given as rights. They are like the rights. You have them. They're natural. They're not wrongs. They're rights. And you come into this world and you kind of know when something is a wrong, because inside you everything makes a kind of a noise that is, well, this isn't freedom, and this isn't my nature, and this isn't making me feel better or more courageous. This isn't helping me grow. Therefore, it's a wrong. It is something that is not right. It's not coming from the divine. And pretty soon you learn. And you learn it in many ways in your cultures. Sometimes you learn that things that are wrong, that you actually instinctively know are wrong, and yet somehow they have force, they have power, and they are instituted almost, you could say, as though they're right. And you have to kind of turn your mind round and accept something that goes completely against the grain of your nature. And you have been doing this all your life, whether as a child your parents told you to be quiet when you wanted to make a lot of noise freely, because you were joyous and you were having a great time, but that wasn't possible. You're not allowed to make a noise. You can't be natural. So many examples that happen to you, beloveds, in your lives where you can't be natural. And where you are told that you're not free. You can't just do what you like. Of course you can't take your clothes off in the middle of the street. Of course not. even though you were born without clothes. And, you know, in ancient times you did walk down the street, Jerome, with no clothes on. Jerome thinks this is very funny, and that's right. It is now, embarrassing to think of all these naked bodies walking down streets with no clothes on. That's right. That has happened. And there are many reasons for that, of course. There's the weather, coldness, too hot, too cold, too this, too that. And also, of course, it is an expression of art and beauty. And you have grown this massive area of art and beauty in the apparel. And also, of course, apparel is giving you many other qualities, prestige, and all kinds of importances in your life that you associate with how a person looks. But I still say to you that to find your nature within all of that is the challenge, that you need to somehow come back to your true nature, to what is natural. And in a sense, I would substitute then nakedness of the body for nakedness of your heart, for openness, for you to be courageous to open your heart. How much are you hiding inside? We can say that freedom's imposed from the outside, but then again, maybe it's also imposed by you, that you have learned that so well. You keep yourself tight. You close your heart. You don't know, perhaps, not so much with you who are gathered here, but I'm sure you know those who, despite your most loving attempts, their hearts just don't open. They don't know how to open their hearts, because you can't be courageous with a closed heart. I didn't say that you keep your heart open, vulnerable to attack. I just said open. So you can open your heart and still have the mirrors of your protection around you. You can still have light all around you. You don't have to have an open heart. Does not mean you're vulnerable and now, oh, you poor weak you with an open heart. No, no, no. The courageous open heart is the strongest power you have. And also, it's very disarming, even if there is a vulnerability in your heart, so long as you are protected. You may be technically appear open and vulnerable, but actually you've made invocations, you've put protections, you've put light beings around you. You understand the divine law, which is, as you say it is, so it is. If you learn to command presence, your presence, and the presence of those beings who want to be commanded. They want to be given that permission to come forward, to bring their power to you. Once you understand that this is a collaboration, a cooperation, a co-creation with beings on every frequency of light, all the way to the most dense, all the way to the most ethereal light presence, is a continuity. It's all connected. There are many, many qualities and frequencies of light and color, and all of them are accessible to you by your nature, naturally. It's just that there are very few people who understand their natural goddess-given rights and qualities and powers. It's something that you grow if you, in a certain way, come back to you, where you are not pulled out by everybody else's opinions, beliefs, structures of mind, thoughts, emotions, and the turmoil that the confusion can create and pull you into it. So as you breathe with me today, I would like you to just feel how, when you are in the nature of your freedom, or the freedom of your nature, you are naturally courageous, and you naturally know your divine rights, your divine essence. You know who you are. It is not an effort. It is simple, natural, easy. And when things are hard, it means that something has happened that's knocked you out of your center and pulled you into a distress. And of course, if you have a lot of that within you from earlier years, childhood, past lives that you're dealing with, then what matters is to arrive there with all the light quotient that you can bring to yourself in that place. And put in a nutshell, beloved, that is the work. The work is to clear yourself of all that obstructs you from attaining the true nature of your connected consciousness who is one with the divine. Who, being one with the divine, of course, is therefore completely free to create as he desires. Because the divine light and the energy and power of love are pouring through you from the source of your being. And you know that because you are creating more freedom, more natural possibilities, more love. And by that very fact, more courage and openness in your heart. To just feeling that fact, opening to the presence within you. It is within you. It's not somewhere else. It doesn't have to really come from somewhere else. It's coming from within you. That light, that divine consciousness that tells you the truth from inside you. Those of you who are here, you may like to listen to Chung because, well, he says such obvious things that you know already. It makes you nod and say, yes, I knew that. That's good to have that said. Yes, I know that. Good, good. I'm never going to be saying something you don't know. That which I say to you that you understand and hear and resonate with, that is because you already know it. There is so much that you already know that may be suppressed, or you may have been told is actually wrong when it's right. So, as you relax back into that true nature of your being, listen inside right now and call forward that freedom-loving, open-hearted, courageous, naturally connected with the divine consciousness within you. Open, expand it, smile. Make the statements, I am nature. I am one with all nature surrounding me. I am an earth man, an earth woman. I have come here to be in this body, to love this body, to love all that I create into wellness and divine connection here upon the earth. I have come to bring divine connection to all that is. Breathe, open your heart, smile. When you smile, the muscles in your face lift up your heart. Feel it, just smile and feel how everything is connected through your heart. The lower three centers, the upper three centers, and when you smile and breathe and expand, it is simple, it is natural. But how often do people forget to actually create joy in the moment with your will, with your determination, with your intention? You know, especially when things are difficult. Breathe into your heart, into your deep heart, and smile just for a moment, because it literally creates an energy that stimulates a meridian that goes to your heart and opens your heart more. Feel it. Expand. Breathe. Big, deep breath. And smile. And the next thing is to give thanks. Give thanks that you can feel this feeling in this moment. It may have tinges of sadness, tinges of joy, tinges of expectation. It may have dark and light. In this moment, you may be carrying many emotions, but just give thanks for the power to feel, to emote. And just observe how you're doing that. You're breathing, you're in your body, and how much you enjoy just that breathing even. How life is to be enjoyed. How life here upon the earth is your opportunity to experience all the senses. The joy of touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing. Think of all the experiences that come through your body, through your senses, and feel that gratitude. And perhaps one of your senses might be a little less sensitive than others. Perhaps you have better sight than hearing, or better hearing than sight. Perhaps you have all kinds of qualities. Think about yourself and give gratitude for your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, your experience. Just keep remembering to take those deep breaths down, deep into your lungs, deep into your body, and feel those breaths filling up your hara. Down into your belly. And feel within yourself the desires that are within you. What right now would you love to create, to manifest? What are your desires in this moment? Perhaps it's particular, perhaps it's literally in the next few hours, perhaps in the next few days, weeks, or months. But you are here to manifest, to bring into appearance, whether they are your ideas or someone else's ideas, but to bring into manifestation, into physical, emotional, and mental manifestation, your inspirations, your ideas, or what you feel are the messages and the information that comes from higher realms. Perhaps you are a creator and as an artist. Perhaps you are a manifester of works. Perhaps you are a communicator, speaking with words. But just think for a moment what you desire to do with your skills. What is your service? What are you doing? How would you like to change what you are doing, or add to it, or empower it more? Do you like yourself in what you do? Does it feel natural? Do you feel free to choose what you do? And also be very compassionate. Perhaps you have a job that you feel you had to do for various reasons. Respect and honor yourself for your choices as well when they don't feel so free. But just notice it. Notice if you feel free. Notice if you feel, in that sense, natural. If it's natural to you, your life, how you're living. Notice what kind of effects these government type of restrictions have had upon you, your family, your work, your life. Notice how that part of you that wants to be free feels about any restrictions. Notice how that part of you that right now we're saying has desires, the natural part of you, how does she feel? Does she feel natural? Is it easy, your life? Perhaps it is, and that's wonderful. Or perhaps you need to just reclaim on the inside that part of you that's free, because it's all on the inside, even though you may think, well, yes, I'm having effect from that, and yes, it's hard for me to manifest because of this and that. But remember, you chose to come here. And this is what evolution is all about. It's about arriving with the next level of you. You have been everything you were up to this moment, and now, right now, we're having a little think. We're opening up to this concept. Can I move more towards freedom and my true nature? Can I bring my courage in to heal the parts of me that are afraid? Can I bring my love in to integrate the parts of me that have been lost? Feel inside yourself. Are you the way you would really like to be? Can you see yourself really clearly? Can you love yourself? Even more important, can you accept anything you see about yourself that perhaps isn't so great, or perhaps does need some work, some perfecting? Can you freely love the part of you that doesn't feel free? Can you bring freedom to that part? Do you know what freedom feels like? If you feel you're not free, well, how would you feel if you were free? Just identify that edge between the negative and positive state there. Not feeling free, not feeling natural, feeling natural, not feeling courageous, feeling courageous, not feeling aligned to the divine source of your being. And what would it feel like to feel aligned? And always come back to, once you have identified where the not is, the negative, come back to the positive, breathe into it, be there, and feel yourself inviting what are more shadowy and lost aspects of your being into the full embrace of the warm and loving, courageous, natural, and free aspects of your being. And held by these loving aspects, in your mind's eye, see the fear dissolving, just melting away, the resistance melting away, as you hold yourself in that divine embrace of love. And don't forget to smile, because as you smile, you are in fact reprogramming that part of you to realize, oh, well, there's quite a lot that's unresolved here, but we're still smiling. Oh yes, of course. Because if you stop smiling, or you stop feeling courageous, if you stop feeling free or knowing that is the truth, then you start manifesting that unfreedom. You start manifesting fear and not love, not courage. You start manifesting awkwardness, dissociation, and disconnection from your nature, your source divine. Giving thanks. Giving thanks and realizing, yes, you are giving thanks to your higher self. That you aim all of your prayers through your higher self into the divine heart. That there is no distance. Your higher self is you, is fully present, embracing you. The divine presence is embracing your higher self. As you call all that energy closer, closer in to radiate through your body, heart, and mind, feel the joy. For the joy comes when you are connected to your soul. The joy comes that is your true nature when you are able to surrender all that is not joyous, all that is disconnected, and you understand it's all about your consciousness. As soon as you see that you don't need to be negative, that you don't need to hold it, you can just literally offer it up. It might not work the first time, but after you've done it a few times, It has to work because it is your will. You have free will. You have the power to change yourself. So feel, beloved. Deeply feel how you are naturally loving, how naturally within you you want to take care of your family, your relations, your friends, your community. It's nature to you. Oh yes, people forget to be like that because they become obsessed with their own pain. But as soon as they have healed some of that, they want to go and help others, I assure you. That is human nature. That is nature. You look into nature, everything's helping everybody else. The plants are helping the trees are helping the plants, the fungus are helping the roots. In the air, the birds are helping nature, and nature is helping the birds and all the animals. They are all exchanging with nature. They are all bringing gifts to each other. This is a connected earth in a connected universe. You are connected to all creation. There is no limit to how enlightened you can become, how loving, how courageous, how free, how natural. And by natural, I do mean connected through all the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and ether, connected. Just like all is connected in nature, in the raw elemental world. And I use that phrase, you, in the raw elemental world of you. Feel as though you are beckoning that part forward, who might cry like a wolf, howl into the night, who might call like an owl, who might hiss like a snake, or sing like a dolphin. Many of you have been in other realms. You can feel inside yourself an awareness of the worlds of light that are within the elements, the beings that dwell, who are part of your web of life, your power system, your grid of energy that you can call upon. Understanding the qualities of your familiars, your power animals, birds, water beings, serpent beings. Have a little thought right now for your favorite beings you especially love in the natural world, and that will give you a clue as you feel the qualities they bring forward for natural you from your nature connections. And feel yourself speak these affirmations. I am one and connected with all of nature. And breathe and look out into the mountains and the rivers, into the forests and the woods, onto the open plains and the fields of flowers. Look out. See if there is a particular aspect of nature right now that calls you. Is it the water? Is it the sun? Is it the fire? Is it the earth? Or is it the birds of the air, or the bees and the butterflies? Feel within you where you are drawn with your consciousness, with your raw awareness. And as you attune to what is happening in the natural world around you, just for a moment, stretch your mind to cities and what human beings have created. And think to yourself, are they connected. How can people who dwell in cities stay connected to all this wondrous nature? Because without that connection, they will be struggling for the energy to heal the places of pain and separation. And just breathing and sending energies out into those beings' lives who do dwell in cities, and perhaps some of you are here, and it is challenging for you. It's important to send extra energy to those of you who dwell in cities at this time. But feel the joy. Despite everything, the power of the light is rising. In many senses, just sitting back and trusting this is a powerful move at this time. Not engaging with any battle aspects, warring aspects between the negative and the positive, but rather just allowing the positive to grow and understanding that it will naturally embrace the negative. You don't have to do anything except not resist the light. So, within yourself, feeling that presence, divine presence. And open yourself up to receive the impetus that comes. Because the divine beings are inside the presence. It's not as though you have to show them. It's just that when you bring that presence forward and you speak it and you tone it and you sing it, there are other gateways that open for you. So bringing that gaze of your higher self right the way down to the root center. We're going to make that sound of that presence. And really sit with that energy in your root center. Unless you have that power there, it doesn't matter what you think in your head. It also won't take you all the way just feeling it. You have to be able to sense it in your guts the reality of what it is that you are visioning or working with or desiring. You have to know in your guts what it feels like to have it, whatever it is, to do it, whatever it is, to send it, to communicate it. So just for a moment, feel that root center. You could say that it's underpinning your heart, the solid presence with a floor to stand on, with a base that's not going to leak out any energies and cause you loss. As you breathe into that deep center, the second one, the sacral, and also the root, the base chakra, feel how active and how strongly present now that willpower is within you. She knows what she wants. She knows, he knows what you're creating. You are here to create. So feeling now, as you come right up into the hara and the solar plexus, this engine room of power in your body, and feel, what do you want to create in this moment? Everything depends upon you in terms of your own evolution and growth and expansion. Are you setting it in order? Are you bringing forward your will, your free will, to create yourself as you desire to be? Do you dare? Or do you think someone else is going to do that? Because I assure you they're not. No one is coming to create you or change you except you. So it's a very important insight that you gain into yourself to just say with a lot of compassion, I accept all this and this and this. But I also say, this is my intention, to create a me that has this, this, and this quality, and especially the knowledge to be able to stand up in that courage, in that knowing of your intrinsic, natural state of freedom, and able to transcend any feelings of being blocked, stopped, restricted, held down, threatened, attacked, even mocked and disabled through psychological means of accusation, false accusation. And so now, just feel that. Feel how you have that option to create yourself anew. And try to understand that just like the earth has within it the dead flowers and seeds and leaves from the last year, and yet up from the roots come the most divine, beautiful plants, flowers, and trees, despite there being already the remains of those that have died. Nature brings the joy and the beauty, the love, the appearance back in, the appearance of life, the coming back of life amongst the debris of the dead. And think to yourself, oh yes, I am nature like that, and I am coming back after feeling pretty stressed and at times rather dead, rather destroyed, rather stopped and inhibited and constricted and very confused. So what is happening now is I'm shooting up these green shoots of new possibility, but I'm seeing all around me the signs of disintegration, of falling apart. It's almost as though in this next phase, you need to know about that. You need to understand that in your empathy with people that are in pain, having difficulty, you have to have an actual medicine of the mind that comes in and says, I do have compassion, I do have love, and I am free, and I am protecting myself. I have my divine rights to joy, to pleasure, to beauty, and I exercise them. I do not allow my empathic nature to weigh me down so that I am not allowed to be naturally me. When my nature says dance, sing, be joyous, the light is shining. Despite the fact that the old negative forces are still having sway upon many beings, I declare myself to be free. I declare that my heart is courage itself. I declare that I love nature, and the part of myself that is nature, I uphold, support, and bring forward into service. Your choice. And it is a deep choice. It's not just, oh, will I wear the famous face covering? Will I take the famous jab? Will I do what I am told supposedly by those who know? It's not just that. It is a claiming of a very deep place of freedom, because that freedom resonates. It's true that outer behaviors also influence people in the good way, but if you want magic, do the work on the inside of your soul. Find any part of you that would hurt yourself in order to obey something that has been brought in to cause you fear. Think about it for a moment and think, well, no, I don't want to hurt myself for the sake of nothing. Sometimes I will sacrifice, I will overstretch in order to bring some goodness, some healing, some kindness and compassion. But as you look at this world, so much gets revealed to you, dear ones. So feel yourself as part of a worldwide web of light, bringing the same message to brothers and sisters everywhere, showing by your actions, which do not have to be extreme nor polemic, they don't have to be revolutionary or violent, just by the simplicity of your actions, speaking truth, challenging, yes, not complying, yes, but also taking care of yourself and understanding to what extent you can deliver orders, commands into public places as well as private places. So that means at train stations, bus stations, in the public trajectory of your lives. So within you, beloved ones, this instinct, this knowledge is there. Open up and let it come forward. Feel yourself having a dialogue. We can say this is your inner child, girl or boy. We can also say this is your inner deep knowing place. That within you there is wisdom. That the child is not a stupid child. He is a wise child. She is a knowing child. We do not assume that the child does not know. Quite the opposite. We assume the child knows a great deal. The child is much closer to your nature and will tell you the truth. But you need the relationship with him or her. You need to grow it, not just when there's a crisis, but to bring courage to your heart, to educate your child in matters of true freedom, and to give your child a better boundary around nature. How to be with nature, how to be natural, who they truly are, their connection with the divine through nature. All of this your child does know now. A child that has journeyed through many years of reconnecting to nature and to the divine. And as you bring your consciousness in, beloved ones, you just get stronger and stronger. Your instinct becomes wiser and wiser. And you learn to consult that place that you call the inner child pretty much all the time, not in words, but just energetically checking all the time. Does this feel right? Does it feel good? Making affirmations, very, very important. And we will do the affirmation at the end of our time together today. But just bring yourself back now from stretching, breathing, from opening up your heart to the courage and joy of your true essence. Breathing. Feeling all the sisters and brothers in your life around you and here. Feeling yourself opening up to them. Bringing them all together. And as we go through now the questions, feel how you are leading the way in your corner. You are bringing light to bear where there was no light. You're all growing, evolving, bringing love, bringing harmony, courage, freedom, everything that I am talking about. Peace, dear ones. I listen.
Peace.
Just collect yourselves, and you may find you don't really have a question. You can bring an observation if you like, but just share anything you feel to share about where you are, what you're experiencing, which may be the complete opposite of everything I've talked about, and that is completely fine if you wish to talk about that. You don't always have to have a classic question. It can be a kind of open-minded, open-hearted observation or comment or feedback. Peace, dear ones.
Okay. Just looking at the live chat here. Thank you. Joanna just asking, yeah. Excuse me, clearing my throat. One tends to do that quite a lot on these lives. Yeah.
Quite a lot of what?
Clearing one's throat and
Yes.
one's chakras and
well, yes, beloved, it's really, don't you spend quite a lot of your life brushing your teeth and washing your armpits, having a rest and opening up? That's right. It is in that sense spiritual housework. That's quite right, beloved. Peace.
So Matthew Bin's asking, please can I ask Ascended Master Chung Fu, is following what feels good to the inner child always 100% correct for me? Thanks.
Well, it's a good question for everybody, because what you have is you have that gutsy wisdom. It says, I don't like that. I don't like that smell. I don't like the feeling. I don't like. And then your adult says, well, yes, dear, but we got to have an interview for a job. Sorry about that. We're going to have to sit through this. I'll hold your hand. So, you have to weigh it up, because sometimes that inner child says, I don't want to drive, but you got to make a 4-hour drive. I don't feel like it. I just want to stay in bed. No, well, like any inner child, in that sense, the parent has to come forward and say, well, you can sit in the passenger seat, but I do need to make this drive. So I'm just giving some very simple examples. Of course, they can get a lot more complex. Your inner child is going to tell you your nature. You don't live, however, in a world that is governed in that way. You've come right away from nature, which is why I talked about, how difficult it is for city dwellers to follow a lot of what I'm saying in practice, because, it doesn't feel natural when many aspects of city life, they kind of become your second nature, but they're not natural. It's not natural to walk on concrete all day long. It's very, it's very challenging to the body to live right at the top of a high rise with electromagnetic frequencies blasting out on every side. It's not natural. And sometimes, however, it's necessary. And so, from that point of view, that's right, beloved. You listen to your inner child. You know he, in your case, speaks the truth. But you also know he has to be tempered with what is happening in that, what we call, more dense and physical reality. Peace, beloved.
Peace. So, Sandra Stoddard, please can you explain why we shouldn't use microwaves? I think you mean
Microwave radiation.
maybe she might mean microwave ovens, but I think generally you probably mean microwaves
Well, microwave
on the whole.
ovens, yes, and that's right.
I'll be right back.
You see what happens with a microwave. It's invisible, the damage it does, which is why you had a spate, maybe about 10 years ago, as they introduced the technology into restaurants, and you had chefs cooking, heating things on the microwave, and they all, many of them anyway, suffered terrible types of cancer and pain and disorientation, exactly where those microwaves were radiating as they stood in front of them, opened them, closed them, and gradually you had a buildup of the destruction of the organ from inside. So the microwave gets inside your being. You don't see the damage, you don't feel it until it's often too late. And that is why we put a blanket no upon the habitual exposure to microwaves. And of course, you have the famous, we'll say that it's a G of fiveness coming in. We will just mask it like that to say that this is very damaging, as you know, because it enters the body without, you don't feel it until suddenly it either stops you from absorbing oxygen and you have a blackout, which can lead to death. Depending on where you are, you can fall just suddenly without any control. And you are seeing a lot of that, those of you who follow certain types of information channels that are trying to inform you and help you understand how this works. So it's an invisible technology. You don't see that. If you're just using it on occasion in your home, it's not a problem. It is that habitual exposure builds up and builds up, and the body hangs on to that. The body hangs on to negativity until if you can, give it permission to let it go. So to do that, you need to take certain substances. You need to build yourself up. You need to take in a lot of oxygen. You need to drink a lot of water, and also mitigate against the damage with certain kinds of supplements. I'm not going to go into everything there, but yes, that's what's necessary. Peace, beloved.
Peace. Joanna Mitchell asks, please can I ask and say to Chung, I've had a big womb clearing the last week, plus lots of signs from Archangel Michael, but today feeling deep grief for my parents again, and I deeply miss my lovely counselor whom I saw for the past year. When will I be done with this grief? And when will I feel some vitality again? So tired and despondent. Thank you.
Well, you're an empath, beloved, a wonderful example of what I was speaking about when I say that, you know, the grief, yes, some of it's yours. I agree. However, you're someone who absorbs a lot. So all around you, there is grief at the moment in the psychic, in the astral planes. And so understand that you're, in that sense, transmuting that grief. When we talk about, personal matters of your father, your mother, and people that you know and connect with, see, there's an intrinsic place of loss here. Right now you're in the loss still. It's early days for your mother and father not to be there, and that triggers then all kinds of other events like you are talking about, that then you feel sad about other kinds of loss. You also then might go into fear of loss or interpretation of loss, when really, if you look at it from a bird's eye view, you could say, yes, but there's loss there, but there's gain here. So it's really to bring yourself to a place of understanding that your deep, soulful inner child self did definitely miss the love that she needed from her mother. We know that. That's very true. However, the adult you has so much to give, but she needs to be sacred awareness around your divine connection. When you build yourself to be who you naturally are, rather than, and I know it's a wonderful creation, and I said to you, all of you are creators. You can create other personae, and you do oftentimes to survive in a very unnaturally an environment that has come right away from nature. And to survive, you kind of turn yourself into, a business person, or someone who works in an office. That's not very natural, is it? And you become that person because you're bringing money in for your family. You're adjusting to the society. You're not being natural, but you're surviving. And as you come back to your nature, beloved, because you and I, we go deep together, and what your dream is, to be in your nature, to be close to the earth, to be living a different kind of life. You will be happy, beloved. You will create it. It is happening already. Why? It's happening inside your visions. So as you create that in reality and let go of all that was created to survive, because you have survived and you've done really well, and it is a creation. But as you let go of it and arrive in the truth and natural expression of your sacred and divinely connected nature, you will feel wonderful, beloveds. And you will understand all the loss that it was for this great gain. Peace, beloved.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to.
Yes, it was a long one, but
We'll
it
have
was
to
referring
shorten up.
to everybody,
Yeah,
beloved.
absolutely,
It
no
refers to
problem.
everybody. I
Yeah,
have to plead my case,
I've always got the hard task mastering of just making sure
He
we
has a
don't
special method.
tire out the vehicle.
He strokes
I
my
give it
leg
a
like
little
this.
a little gentle stroke. Yes, they call me the Elven Time Terminator, but that's not quite accurate. In that I am from the Elven realms, but hey, that's another story. But I have to be the controller of the
That's
time.
right, and he does it
Yes.
wonderfully well.
So we've got a few here. So yeah, four more, and then we'll. Yeah, I try to keep it to six if I can, because otherwise we end up
All right, you'll
taking.
have to
Yeah.
stop me quicker, won't you? That's what
So
it is. It's my
yeah,
fault.
we
Yes.
like to serve as many as we can. So Caraculito, I'm not sure if Chong Fu can. We don't do diagnosis in that sense, but we'll see what Chong Fu says to this one. Um, you know, yeah, you've got to be careful. I think, a little disclaimer that always good to speak to,
Your own health
a
professional.
qualified MD, qualified doctor, all of that sort of stuff. But we'll
I can often give you some spiritual insight into your condition.
yeah, Caraculito, which is Dada. Dear Chung Fu, My mum had a fall down and hurt her back right side. She asks when it will heal and what she can do to improve it. It is broken. Is it broken? She doesn't want to go to hospital for an X-ray. Thank you, love Dada.
She has got a fracture there, D1. It's not, it's there looks to be several little fractures. I think that they can heal. I would suggest the symphytum, the comfrey. Put it on. That's comfrey tincture. You can get it herbally, or you can get it as a homeopathic tincture. And the cream, put it on the arnica, the hypericum. These are the healing herbs for the coming knitting back together of the bone and the nerves. And there's a ligament there that's pulled out of shape there. So yes, I think you can do good work with that. I think watch her breathing. Is it painful for her to breathe? Try to help her to understand how to visualize all the bones coming back into the right places. There's a couple of bones that are a little bit pushed out. But just feel, help her to feel where she can visualize, how she can feel and visualize in the senses her back getting better. Peace, beloved.
Peace. Yeah, and we can all just take this moment to, just send a thought of healing out to Dada's mum as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Peace, beloved.
Okay. I love all of your comments in here as well. Sergey, Eugene, holy blessings to holy all of holy you, and lots of doves and hearts and fairies and stuff. Love that.
Peace, beloved.
Taris Mish, I'm not sure what you've written. Vom.red. I'm sure that's nice. And then more love, love, love from Sergey. Sergey, I love all of you. Thank you so much. We love you too. Erica Slingwine. I hold tension in my neck and jaw as if I'm protecting myself or bracing myself against what may come. How do I trust that I'm safe and be at complete ease?
Well, it's very interesting, but that is literally how you do it, exactly what you're doing. Tune into it, bring it out, expose it, as in, there are many healing souls here. Because quite naturally, they're all going to, in that moment, send loving energy to you. Because that is the nature of empathic and divinely connected souls. So as you come forward, you can know that as you offer it up. So imagine that if you would put your hands at the back of your neck and feel your jaw. And this is holding anger, pain, suffering. The protection is really where you've been hurt. You know what you're carrying there, and feel yourself kind of hold the back of your neck, as though you would kind of take it in your hands, the essence of the feeling of the tension. Try to lean back and relax in your chair or where you are. Let go. Really let your body go. Let all of the, let the jaw drop. I don't, to shake your head as though you're gonna just hold your, as though you're a bit stupid, you really let go, especially let the jaw drop, and then let the neck come forward very gently. Let it go as much forward as you can to really let go of that tension. Do a little neck roll very carefully, very gently, letting it go. And you need to do this several times a day. And you make sure that jaw is still dropped as you let, and really, you're really concentrating on letting go, but gently moving the neck round so that you're hitting each little muscle there all the way around. You do that for about 5 minutes. Then in your heart, and I'm not allowed 5 minutes right now, but it's quite a long time. When I say 5 minutes, I do mean you're going to go this way, that way, and all the time, yeah, yeah, You'll feel when you really relax the jaw, oh, all the tiredness. You'll want to yawn. You'll feel a real need to release, because what's happening with the tension, of course, it's holding all the difficult emotions in. When you've done this rolling for a bit, tune into your belly. Breathe down into your belly. Understand that this jaw here, this whole throat center, is the higher harmonic of your root center, your base chakra. There's going to be some sexual connotations here for you, places where you're a bit shut down sexually. You'll feel, maybe defended and, a bit defensive in that way. Maybe have difficulty with intimacy, because this is where you are, your will, your neck is I will and I won't, and you can't and you don't, and I've got it, and I don't like you, and I'm angry, and I'm defending myself. There's all these qualities, you see, and they will reflect in other ways in your life for you to recognize. I'm exaggerating that, of course, but that's the thing you need. That's what the child would do. See, within you, there is that part of you that knows exactly why you've closed all this down. So I'm not allowed more time than that, but I would just say one thing, and that is it's ancestral. So it's coming down the bloodline, and it's mainly the father line, but there is a correspondence of what you've absorbed also from the ancestors in the mother line. But it's more, there's more anger and pain and hurt and sorrow in the father line. And it's come on to you as a child, in that sense that you've absorbed a lot of it. And so that's what the child does. Clenches up, shuts down, doesn't know what it is, doesn't know how to release. Releasing that anger, that is the most important thing you can do. You can do it with a drum. You can do it by, drumming your feet on the ground. You can do it by doing martial arts. You can do it by fire ceremony, really important. If you can manage to have use some naked flame and feel that naked flame taking that weight off you, that pain off you, that anger off you. That's just a beginning, beloved, but it's something for you to start to think about. Peace.
Peace. So my brother Jim just asked me, what's it like seeing my mum go into trance? And well, I guess I'm a bit biased, but for me, like, you could probably say, if you know me and if you've met me, I'm a little bit odd in that sense that, like, I'm very emotional. I'm very emotionally sensitive, but I then spent, well, how long's it been? I had my first session when I was 17. I'm 37 now, so I've spent a long road training and, studying with Chung, listening to all his teachings. I've gone to town on all of his practices. I do them all the time, from mind and thought empowerment to heart empowerment. And what it's like for me is it's very emotional, but I'm one of those types of men who, I'm not afraid to go into the emotion and feel the emotion and let the emotion move through me. And sometimes it's anger. So anything can come up, because it's when Sally goes into trance and lets the great presence of Isa come in, which is Isis, goddess Isis of ancient Egypt. She's a 10th dimensional divine mother presence, but we don't call her that because that name was taken and distorted. So it's Isa. Isa is actually the original name. Isa. So yeah, it's very emotional. So yeah, I was just answering Jim's sort of call there. So my brother's asking here, Dave Masters. Thank you, Chong Fu. I've recently got an illness that affects many things, including heart palpitations and anxiety. Is there anything I could do to stay calm when it's really bad? Tried breathing techniques, but sometimes feels like I'm having a heart attack. Many thanks.
How recent is that, please? Is that to do with the poisons or not? Is that natural? Is
Yeah,
that...
maybe Dave, if you could just write in.
We need to know whether it's something that happened as a result of the recent type of so-called medication, or whether that's something spontaneous. I need to just
Cool.
have a shortcut to that knowledge because I don't have time to come right into you, peace,
Okay.
beloved.
Yeah, and just to say as well, Erica, if you ever want to come forward and have a one-to-one session with Chung Fu and go deeper into things, you can send an email to sophie.deepconnection@gmail.com, and she can assist you in booking a one-to-one if that's something you feel that you would like. Lou, thank you, Chung Fu. I've noticed it hasn't rained for ages. Strange for January. I think she's in England. She says, I'm in the southeast. I take it she's in England. Yeah.
Yes. Well, there are many things that are strange, beloved, in your weather systems because your weather systems are not natural. They are massively interfered with. So it may be strange, but you must also understand that there are various agendas that are controlling weather systems. And, that would be a big subject to dive into right now. But yes, there is especially an agenda to spoil crops and to interfere with the rhythm of crop creation, of harvesting that happened all through the end of last year, well, throughout the year actually, and that is happening still. And so all of this intervention is part of what you're all dealing with that has a very negative effect upon your life. Peace. And
Peace.
and by the way, it can all change, but it does have to change uh, at the deepest level, by which I mean at the spiritual level. That in the highest domain has happened, as in the fifth dimension. It's now happening in the fourth, and then it will happen in the third. So how does it happen in the fourth dimension? It happens through the consciousness of people, through the awakening of the heart that realizes, wait a minute, I'm not enjoying this. This does not feel for my good. I'm actually being very oppressed here. So I'm going to start to question it. That's the astral next level that's going to come now in this next year, is people starting to think, wait a minute. No, I'm saying no. And this whole event of self-protection, of the survival of the human race, the realizing of the attack that has been in place. And then will come the physical manifestations that will change
So
everything.
it's kind
Peace.
of like it feels like a great pause where people don't know really what to think. They're kind of paralyzed and they don't know what to feel. And so for me, the weather system is affected by man as well in that sense.
Oh,
That
yes.
if they're not moving emotion, it's kind of like this looming dark cloud that hangs, kind of like, you
Mm.
know,
Yes, that
um,
too. Absolutely
yeah.
so.
But
Yes.
yeah, I wonder what could be achieved if we got together in large groups and just had a good old cry.
Mm. That too. Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
Dave says about a year ago it started. It's Graves' disease, a problem with my thyroid, basically.
Oh, yes. Ah, thank you for explaining that. So the thing is, what simple question I'm going to ask you, beloved, is: do you feel that you, in your life, really have been able to express your emotion? Do you feel free? Do you feel in touch with your nature? Did you, in that sense, throughout your life? And in that sense of ancestral heritage, is this something that exists in your heritage, in your ancestry? Because there is an aspect there that I can see. Yeah, what I can see is gagged ancestors who weren't allowed to speak. I can see slavery right in the very, a long time ago, gradually coming out of that. I say slavery, and not necessarily in these physical bloodlines. There are connections for you that you are carrying that have that energy and that emergence from a lot of deep abuse and oppression. So there's almost a feeling like a lump in the throat. I can't speak. I daren't speak, or speaking up is dangerous. I could get terminated. It's quite severe. It's interesting that you have this, but I don't see it as irreversible. So I think what I'm seeing here is where they're showing me where um, you can improve your heart condition in certain ways, and that is by really understanding that you are not just a physical being, that they give titles to conditions and they make edicts and say, well, this can be cured, this can't be cured. Don't ever go by that, because you are primarily made of light. And what you really need to do is look inside systems such as homeopathy, which has a very spiritual element, which can, the remedies are given and they radiate right into the, what you could call the back system of your being. They go in and help you discharge often causalities, events that have happened in other lives. And they go very deep, the homeopathic remedies. So I don't know if you've seen a homeopath, but I would suggest you should see a good homeopath. A homeopath who understands what I call polycrest remedies, so remedies that are constitutional, that understand the wholeness of the picture of your being. So that is really quite an advanced homeopath who knows these things. And so, yes,
I
there is
might also,
definitely remedy for you
yeah,
there,
I might
please.
also add Chung Fu. Dr. Shamim Daya is she's an
Yes.
MD. She is expensive because she's a top MD on Upper Wimpole Street in London, and her treatments are upwards of £1,000, and then there's the supplements that she will prescribe as well, but she could really help you get your thyroid back on track.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know this because I'm connected with someone close by who has thyroid issues as well and is undergoing treatment to recover the strength of the thyroid and bring the thyroid back. So yeah, this is a thing that many do struggle with. So yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to have to sort of speed up the questions. There's a couple. I don't want anyone to feel like they're not,
Will you
you
put the
know.
contact there for him?
Yeah, I'm in touch with Dave, so that's cool.
Peace. Excellent.
Um, he says he's got to take the kids to scouts. Cool, man. All right, so Anna Harris, it's wonderful to feel the vibration of freedom without needing a three-dimensional reason for it. It is our true nature. Thank you for creating the space for us to remember and feel this. Big love. Big love, sister.
Peace to you, Wen.
Um, EGG, EG Fisker, EGGI Fisker. How does one ascend within?
It's interesting language, isn't it? You see, you already are connected to your ascended self. See, that's your higher self. You look at the language, your God self. You know, people talk about ascension as though they never went there, as though they never came from there. Where did you come from? Somewhere down under? No, you came from the source of all creation. You are basically and fundamentally naturally connected to your ascended nature. It's just that you're trying to descend right now. You're trying to be on earth. And people talk about ascension as though it contradicts being on earth. No, it doesn't at all, because you are connected, divinely connected. And you need all that ascended nature to be on earth. Because without it, as we have discovered, people can come at you with all sorts of frightening concepts that entrap your mind and dull your nature and tell you you're not who you really are. So your ascended nature will always be available to you if you know how to connect. What is connection? What does that mean? It means to open up all your chakras, to open up to the living spirit that is you, and bring it fully into your body. Once your spirit is in your body, then you can talk about lifting up your whole nature into joyous, ascended truth, which is who you are, divine nature, that's ascended. So you got to look into the meanings of these words and not get sort of hooked into, oh, they're ascended and I'm not. No, no, they may have said so, but you will feel it because, you see, as we said, your nature is love. Your nature is peace and joy and beauty and wellness. Your nature is to bring your ascended self here. You just get, confronted, blocked, attacked. You get karmic kind of resonances that happen from old spaces within you that have been in pain, and you drop, your frequency drops. But actually, you can pick it up in an instant. You can just remember, oh, yes, oh, I just dropped. Oh, yes, oh, I just dropped the ball. I'm feeling bad. I just, my vibration just dropped. So in an instant, just like that, I'm just going to stop everything and breathe. And I'm going to remember that I am the living spirit within this body. And take a breath and breathe that thought form into my body. I am my ascended self incarnate here in this physical reality, in this body. As you bring affirmations in, you'll find your energy literally lifts up, which is what ascension is. Your purpose is to be ascended, that's right, in your consciousness right here on this earth where you have descended to be with your ascended nature. So ascension is not an escape. Ascension, it's part of being upon the earth and being free. Peace, beloved.
Peace. Okay. I love that I get a little fisted bump in the air from my brother Timmy Danger. Bless you,
Peace,
brother.
beloved.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There's a lot of questions. So we'll see how we do. Christina Kozaj, I think she joined us last week. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. What kind of practice would you suggest to connect better with our creative faculties?
Well, again, I don't know whether you were here for our whole transmission, but you see, your creative faculties are very natural, but they've been beaten out of you often, and other faculties are, we don't want you all that imagination and all that fantasy stuff. Can you just do something real and go and be a secretary and go and cook some food or go and do something that is earthly, that is, that I can see and that I can, enjoy, that you bring to me. You see, people don't understand that creative faculty is natural in the child, but is very delicate because the child doesn't remember, doesn't know, and if the child is told, don't daydream, don't imagine things, stop making up stories, stop lying. And the child imagines things and says things. No, that's not right. Stop lying. But the child is being creative. They're imagining things into being. They got a little friend that nobody else knows about. They make up stories about the stars and the universe. And that all is your creativity. How do you connect with it? Well, exactly there. Go to your inner child and understand that within you, that creativity is strong and thriving. However, there are blocks. The reasons that there are blocks is because things were said to you that undermined that natural creativity. And you need to literally clear yourself of those fears that come. Because what happens if a child is having a wonderful time, joyous, and comes grumpy daddy, get inside, and the child is, right, it must not be all right then to just play freely. Now I'm afraid of my nature, which says go play freely. But suddenly they got a conflict there. And creativity is very much tied up with freedom, the freedom of your nature to just create as you will, as divine beings do. They come to earth and they make beauty, or they make something that they love to do. So look into your inner child. Notice and understand any times where you feel distress around making something yourself, whether that's writing, drawing, dancing, creating a song. Notice how you feel. Because really you're creating all the time. You wake up creating. I mean, this day that you just created, it wasn't there yesterday. You created it today. This moment right now when I'm speaking has never been there before. It's being created as I speak. All of you being here together with me, that's a creation that we are all doing together right now that never was before. So you are a creative being. And also, if you devote your creativity to the divine, to your higher self, to beauty, peace, truth, and love, again, you're going to receive that light and that creative vision from the source of your being. And it's going to be unstoppable when it is in service for the good of all. I could go on a long time about creativity, beloved. Go to your inner child, listen to your soul, dedicate yourself to love, healing, beauty, truth, and allow the energy to pour through you. Peace, Stephen.
Yeah, on that note, I'll post so on our quite outdated website now, which we are long overdue to upgrade. Chung does have a beautiful 4-disc Inner Child series, which is, I say 4-disc, it used to be. We don't print CDs anymore. It's a digital download, so you could call it a 4-part series or whatever. But that's available on www.deepsoulconnection.org/downloads. And you'll find all of Chung Fu's meditations and practices in there. Okay. Thank you for your question, Christina. The Limes to Bananas. It's a cool name. I remember that name. Not sure who this is, but welcome. What reasons are there for a dark entity to have a special interest towards a person and watch them from outside the home? How can they be ridded of they are outside if they are outside? How can they be ridded if they are outside?
What you're saying is you got a stalker. Are we saying that? I'm going to assume you mean a physical being spying on somebody, and you want to get rid of them because that's a very unpleasant experience.
It could mean all sorts. It could be CCTV cameras, government camera. I don't know. It could be all sorts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tricky one, isn't
Well,
it?
there are different answers depending on that, of course.
Maybe you can write in and just clarify the question a little bit. Maybe we'll come back to that one. George Denigan, welcome. Hi, Chung Fu.
Peace, beloved.
We connected in a private meeting a few weeks back. I have a beautiful friend, Pauline, on your side of the world. She is alone and accepts that, but wonders if she'll remain alone.
I need more than one name, beloved. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so do write back and
full name. If you want me to search Akashic Records, that really the answer is whether or not it's in the Akashic Records that there's someone, as it were, due, about imminently to appear, who's got an affinity with this lady. The fact of the matter is she can change anything. And so we would then be talking about how she would retrieve aspects of herself, you see, that are depressed in this way or in any way expecting or are carrying a negative energy around this subject. But we would have to go quite deep to look at that. And
Pauline Kerens.
All right, Pauline Kerens, thank you. Mm-hmm.
She lost her husband many years ago. She is a beautiful light being, but doesn't want to be alone any longer. She wants to share her life with someone.
Yes, she's a deep soul. Mm-hmm. But although you say that she wants to share her life with somebody, there is a deterrent here. There's something here. There's something that she hasn't looked at. There's something she's carrying. It is a sorrow. It is a grief. It's actually not about the husband, though, of course, that triggered it. It's something much deeper. And it is to do with her own self-love. It is to do with the lost aspect of herself that she's got some work to do to retrieve. And that is why there's a delay, because it's not that she isn't attractive or couldn't attract someone towards her. Yes, she could. but it's what is being said here by the guides, and looking in the Akashic here, there's a lot of old grief still in her that's not to do with now. It's a long time past, and it's to do with recognition, with the honoring of her true being. It's to do with visibility. She is hiding in some way something that needs to shine, and it's almost as though her guides are saying, come on and shine, and then we're going to bring the lover in, because she needs to shine. She needs to be seen. There's something she has to offer that she's not offering. So in the spirit world, if you like, or in the vibrational universe, or the universe of resonances and frequencies, everything is reflected. So within her, this hidden place hides the one who might come forward. Within her, the hiding of her light means her light doesn't shine and show her that being. So there's quite a lot to work on there. Peace, beloved.
Yeah, by all means, like if someone needs to come forward and have a one-to-one, they're really welcome. Okay, so from limes to bananas says it's a spirit from the woods behind our home. Thank you for inviting me to clarify.
Yes, a spirit from the woods. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm looking there. I did think initially it wasn't to do so much with tech and so on. So I'm looking here, and yes, I can see there's a lonely spirit. There's an earthbound spirit. There's somebody who hung themselves in that wood. So to do a clearing is really important. They're only looking in, asking for help, in fact. But that being has a lot of unresolved sadness, grief, and even anger. And so that wouldn't feel very nice for you to be called upon. But if you do a ritual, a proper sending of that spirit, a proper, invocation of angelic help, a real caring invitation for that spirit to come into the light and go with the angelic beings to the light, to really allow yourselves as well to feel, to let the sadness that's in that being and the anger come through, light a fire. If it's possible to do it in the woods, that's great. Otherwise, as close as you can, or invoking the presence of the elements, the elemental beings of earth, air, fire, water in the woods, and calling for divine assistance, calling for the earth beings to come. Really do a proper invocation of spirit presence before you invite that being in. Especially ask for the spirit wolf energy to surround your circle, because they are great protectors and they will take care of you. When you invite the being in, invite them into a circle of angelic presence who are there to hold that being and who will ultimately escort that being out. Understand that, feel where the gateway is in the northwest of wherever you are. On this land, feel the gateway into the spirit world, and really find it in the northwest and kind of establish it in your mind where that is in your circle. When that being finally leaves, and you'll feel a buildup of energy. You'll feel it's right now to call that being in, as you create your circle, and you invoke the presence and healing power of all the spirits of the land, of the air, the water, and the stars if you're at night, the moon, or the sun if you're in the daytime. Call the being in, and you welcome the being to say, I'm so sorry that you're suffering. We noticed you have been calling to us. We invite you here where you can cross over and go to the light with the beings who can escort you there. It's for this reason that we have created this gateway between the worlds for you. We understand that you're in pain, and we offer you this remedy, this gateway, to be escorted to where your pain can be healed, where you can move beyond being stuck with the feelings that are in your heart. As though you're talking your own language. You may have other things you want to say. Before you do this ritual, what your guides are telling me is you need to both understand not to be afraid. You know, the spirits that knock on your door, most often, they are watching you. Yes, they have envy, they have pain and sorrow, but mostly they're just asking for your help. So when you call in the powerful ones, all the beings that you love in the spirit world, they are nothing but grateful to you. Peace, beloved.
Peace. I'd like to add to Chung Fu's wolves, Nordon and the 13 bears.
Ah, the bears, yes.
Nordon is a name for who we call the king of all bears. So he is a vast being, Atlantean type kind
Yes.
of era.
Big spirit bear.
Very big. Like, so call in the bears with the wolves as well. And Shungite. So if you buy Shungite, you can grid up all around your house, and you can kind of add to everything Chung Fu said that way and call the Shungite deities, because Shungite's a very good way to dissolve anything, well, anything not needed anymore, really. Anything you choose. So yeah, I hope that helps. So we're going to do one more question now, and we're going to call it a day. Oh, hey, brother. Paul McCallion. Bless you, Jerome, brother. Thank you for connecting me and thinking of me. It's a pleasure, brother. So Diane J, thanks so much. Please, can you talk about ADHD? I'm a whole family. I'm I think you mean my whole family are suffering from this disorder. Thanks for writing in.
I would like to say first, beloved, welcome, is that, what the doctors label are not always the same exact condition. So conditions get labels, and so ADHD is that condition which has been named. A lot of it is vaccine damage. Is to realize, if you look into the history of your family, it's very likely you will see that there's medication, there are chemicals, and especially there are vaccinations made too early, made on vulnerable little beings when they were little, and basically causing havoc amongst the hormone system, the endocrine system. So with ADHD or any of also all kinds of intrinsic, especially immune disorders that happen as a result of vaccine damage, you can do a lot of healing with supplements of all kinds. You can do a lot of healing with homeopathy, and you can do a lot of healing with chakra balance and meditation upon the chakras, giving energy and light, and and expanding the chakras to give resource to the energetic organs. So, with ADHD, you have got a nervous dysfunction. You have got an overactive uh, nervous system and brain. Uh, uh, it's all working a bit too fast, and it's all too chaotic, and the emotional body can't keep up. So you get a lot of distress. You get the fact that people can't communicate properly because they can't be fully in their body. So there are many expressions of what is called that disorder. But what I would say, because we don't have time to go into all the details right now, but please do come forward if you would like to go deeper. But generally speaking, it is a disorder that can be approached from above, if you like, from consciousness. It can be that you gradually change the rhythm, the reactiveness of the system, of the nervous system and the brain waves. You can gradually, intentionally slow everything down, calm everything down, so that there isn't that enormous overactivation and the reactive distress that comes in this way. So you meditate, or you you think of, you attune to each chakra, and you put shungite on. You know, shungite is very, very powerful in ADHD because what it does, it grounds the being, it connects them back to the earth, back to their true nature. Use a lot of shungite on yourself, on each of you. You know, maybe you get a set and you pass it around the family, you know, and each one does half an hour every day.
Maybe say what a set is, because maybe people don't know what that is.
Yes, well, basically you're working on the chakras. What the shungite is doing is taking toxins out of the chakras and and transmuting it and letting it go. It grounds everything, so that it will take all kinds of toxins out of the body and ground it into the earth. You know, and this is very important for you when you have this. Basically, you have a toxic reaction normally. This is lies in the very sort of invisible foundations of these kinds of disorders.
There's also drinking the elite shungite
That's right.
water
Drink.
as
I was
well.
just going to say that. That's right. Absolutely. Drinking it. Yes. Peace.
If if like you probably gathered by now, guys, except I'm not directly on the camera because Chung Fu is. But I'm not shy, and I'm happy to tell you that I do sell shungite. So if anybody needs shungite, I sell very, very high quality shungite, and you just need to get in touch with me. You can send me an email, shungite61, SHUNGITE 61 at gmail.com, with any shungite related requests. And yeah, happy to let you know what I've got in stock. Also, I've created a beautiful ebook, which is the transmissions of with an introduction from myself at the beginning, but it's basically some really, really awesome transmissions from Chong Fu and Amon Chungin and Kanufar, who is he's the deity presence of Jupiter. So if you would like to get that ebook, it's free. You can just go to www.shungitelight.com and you can go and check that out. Okay, so I thought I'd just bring that in there. Yeah, so that's
Peace,
it
dear ones.
today for questions.
Thank you so much for coming forward, dear ones. Just for a moment, just gather yourselves up and breathe. And remember once more, what you have within you is a great resource of natural power, of natural God, Goddess given love and presence. You are the living spirit, present in this body upon the earth. You have come here to bring your love and light, to radiate and shine, to create from your nature beauty, peace, love, and harmony. You have come to this earth to be free, to enjoy your life, to have a wonderful time. And it is always what will motivate you, even if in this moment you can't manifest it. It will always motivate you because it is your true nature. Remember always that you are connected, not just connected, but actually one with, as in united, as in part of, with the divine, the source of creation. And feel within you, in that enjoyment of your life, feel the desire that is within you to make things better. Always, always. It's just instinctive within you. Love yourself. Love your life. Give such thanks for all the opportunities that come forward for you to become stronger, for you to become more loving, for you to experience more joy, more freedom. You are here to become your authentic, natural, free, connected courageous, divine self. And so it is. Blessings and peace, dear ones. And
so
great
it
love.
is. Great love. And do you know what? Great love to all of you as well, coming and being with us. It's a real beautiful privilege and an honor. And so much thanks to Chung Fu, who speaks through Sally. And so much thanks to Sally, who is so generous with her energy and her time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Peace, dear ones. Farewell.
Farewell.
Om Tara To Tare To Re Om Tara To Tare To Re Om Tara To Tare To Re
Many blessings.